So it really stuck with me. So when I was in law school, I naturally gravitated toward immigration law. And so after I graduated, I worked with an immigration lawyer, several immigration lawyers in DC. I also worked at the World Bank. And then when I moved here, I said, I'm going to open my own firm, my own solo practice. And I've been doing that since then.
So thank you everyone for joining us on another episode of iWing Marketplace Chit Chat, where we give the opportunities for entrepreneurs to talk about themselves and what they do so we can learn from them and we can connect with them. Right here, I'm with Morenike Omole. Thanks for joining us today.
You're very welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Did I pronounce your name well?
Yeah, most people call me Rennie or Moriah. I've been called Rennie since I was a little girl. So attorney Rennie, attorney Omole, that works great.
Wow. Well, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am an immigration lawyer here in North Carolina, and I've been practicing immigration since December 2013. I graduated law school a couple of months before that and took the bar in Maryland. I attended American University, Washington College of Law. And before that, I was at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville, Virginia. And I immigrated to the United States as a child. So, but I wasn't too young not to remember. I remember a lot of what that entailed. And it was such a huge part of our lives. I came when I was 12. So it was, I would say, a little bit traumatic of an experience, just because immigration is complicated and, you know, the anxiety is real. So it really stuck with me. So when I was in law school, I naturally gravitated toward immigration law. And so after I graduated, I worked with an immigration lawyer, several immigration lawyers in DC. I also worked at the World Bank. And then when I moved here, I said, I'm going to open my own firm, my own solo practice. And I've been doing that since then.
Wow, that is wonderful. You have such a very powerful background, experience, and resume, you know, having worked in, you know, reputable organizations and different law firms. And that is amazing. You're doing a great job, you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me get this out of the way. Now you're in North Carolina, and, you know, for someone like me in New York, or people will be watching maybe in Texas and other states, you know, can they work with you despite the fact that you're in North Carolina?
Yes, immigration law, it's federal law, so it's not state specific. So I have clients all over the country. A lot of times it's about filing with USCIS. Besides interview, there's very little appearances necessary when you go through USCIS. So I'm able to take cases all over the country. A lot of my clients, we connect virtually. We do Zoom or telephone conferences. So that is pretty much very, you know, sufficient. I'm able to take cases all over the country based on the fact that immigration law is not state specific. But I should also let you know that I am waiving into North Carolina bar pretty soon, and then I'll be able to do North Carolina specific cases.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that you're gathering all this, how do I put it, portfolio, so you can practice. You're already immigration law is already all over the US, and you can practice in North Carolina and Maryland at the same time. That's really amazing. But you're welcome. Can you help us understand, you know, what is Omole Law Firm all about?
Well, we are all about assisting our clients, guiding them through the immigration process. We are not afraid to take on a huge load of the work. Lots of firms require you to actually complete the forms, the immigration forms yourself. but I do it. My office, we complete it. We just want to, I always like to know what you have, so that when we are in front of an officer or when we get a request for evidence, I'm better able to respond to that on your behalf. So we do a lot of that. We definitely do hands-on. We are very hands-on on each case. I am not an attorney that's hard to reach. I've learned the hard way, because as a solo practitioner, lots of clients have direct access to me. And then, some clients are very, very wonderful, and they'll call me at 6 a.m. and they'll call me at 9 p.m. and all of that stuff. And I'm very, very happy to help my clients. But I know Ogechi. She is our client service manager. She is doing a wonderful job. She is helping me with that now, so that I am able to focus on the legal aspect of things while she is helping me with the communication with clients. But I'm still not hard to reach or anything like that. I definitely understand a lot of emotional aspects of immigrating into the United States, wanting to be with your family members, wanting to go to school, wanting to get a job and stay here and be gainfully employed. All of those things are important to our client. And now more than ever, timing is important, because everything is just slow with the federal government. Everything is slow.
Wow.
I think that alone is a topic in itself that we should talk about. But
Can you tell us more about that? Why are things so slow at the moment with immigration? Because the many people I've spoken with, they made their application to maybe bring their family member from, let's say, Nigeria or Ghana, and it's been a long time. They haven't heard back. For like 2 years, they haven't heard back from the immigration, from USCIS.
yeah, it's before the pandemic, I filed green card applications, family petitions that were fully adjudicated within 4 months. Within 4 months, the petition was approved, the green card was approved. Things were just like rapid. It's a lawyer's dream to be able to give the good news to your client and say, listen, it's just been 4 months and you are set. You are good to go. But with the pandemic, when everything shut down, the federal government also shut down, but they did not stop taking up applications. So applications were piling up. They were very slow with even acknowledging that they received it. There was a time we were waiting for 3, 4, 5 months to get a receipt saying that we have actually started processing your form. Before then, we got receipts within a week or two, maximum three weeks. But now we're waiting 5 months, and it was just, it was very, very different. It's never happened before. It was unprecedented. I've been, practicing now for 9 years, and that has just never happened. So that was the beginning of the slowing things down. Then the COVID rules and regulations that prevented lots of clients to be dealt with at the same time. So, for instance, interviews were conducted. Maybe, let's say they'd conducted 100 interviews a day. Because of COVID, now they were conducting 20 interviews a day. In fact, there were some embassies around the world, some US embassies around the world that were shut down for over a year. They were just not operating. And I don't know if you remember the spikes in COVID cases. There were times when, there was a huge spike in India, then there was a huge spike in Jamaica. And, while they were processing before, then they shut down. And then months later, they start processing again. So a lot of these things just caused real long delays for my clients. Now we're starting to hear back from cases we filed in 2019 and 2020. It's, to me, ridiculous. And it's been very emotional for a lot of the clients in trying to just reunite with their family members. Let's
say I apply to bring maybe my daughter back home from Cameroon, to the US, and if I haven't heard from USCIS, or I maybe just gotten just the notice that the application was received, but I haven't heard back from them like in 1 or 2 years, what can I do?
What you can do is you need to figure out if you are still within the processing time. If you are within the processing time, they will not touch it. They will not do anything. But if you're out of the processing time, then you can request to either expedite, or you can just send in an inquiry. I've done that successfully for several clients, but they're not responsive 100% of the time. It is better for you to have a lawyer who can keep an eye out on what's going on. Um, Believe it or not, sometimes it takes talking to an actual adjudicating officer to get to the bottom of it, and I've had to do that for my clients. So there are benefits definitely to contacting an attorney who knows what's going on right now. Sometimes there's nothing we can do except for just say you're within the processing time. You just have to wait. Everybody else is waiting. But really, if there's something that can be done, the attorney would do it.
Oh, nice. I love that you're able to call and, find out on behalf of the client. That is wonderful. But you deal with immigration law, and it's such a vast area. What are some of the immigration cases you've dealt with in the past few couple of months?
Well, a lot of cases, I would say some of the most interesting cases I've dealt with are people who went to the wrong help, either because they don't want to spend money to hire a lawyer, so they'll listen to other people's advice and do it themselves, or they'll go and trust someone who has done applications for others. So they're not licensed to practice, immigration law or to even assist in that sense. But because, they've done it for a friend or two, then, you go to them and then they end up messing up your case and things are just complicated. And now you're at risk of deportation. Some people come to me because they were not careful enough to prevent DUIs from happening. There was a case I did very recently. We got his green card, let's say on a Monday. And on Wednesday, he called me and said he just got a DUI. And,
Wow.
one thing you need to do when you are an immigrant in the country is just to be very, very, very careful with the law. You do not want to break the law. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the law, period. You have to be very, very careful with that. I've had to help some people with, I cannot be too specific because of, attorney-client privilege
Right.
here. But there's a lot of
Mhm.
different criminal backgrounds, even prostitution, gun crimes, all of that really affects your ability to immigrate into the United States. So, but it's not impossible. I have assisted a lot of people that really, on the face of it, we thought it was over. But when you talk to an immigration lawyer, there are things they can pull out of your the facts of your case and help you argue in front of immigration that you are eligible for a benefit.
Wow, that's nice. And I also read from your website that you do personal injury as well. Can you tell us about what personal injury is all about?
Yeah, so personal injury, if you got in a car accident, if they made a mistake at a hospital, if you're doing surgery and they make a mistake, someone told me that they actually performed the wrong procedure at the hospital. Yeah, it is, I mean, horrific, the kind of injury that people can suffer in that area. If you have a fall at a store or anything like that, you need to contact a personal injury lawyer so that they will be able to assist you through that process. If you get in a car accident, make sure that you have the other person's insurance information. Now, let me tell you something that happened to me last week, Saturday.
Mhm.
I got involved in a hit and run. I was sitting
Wow.
calmly at a red light, minding my own business, and this pickup truck just slammed into my very nice, beautiful car that I just bought, and I was not
Oh,
even
no.
thinking. I mean, it was a
Mm.
quiet evening, and he just slammed right into me and just sped off. Just sped off. I mean,
Wow.
I've never been involved in a hit and run. I've had, people running to me from behind before, but not someone who didn't stay to take responsibility. He just sped off, but thankfully in this case there was a good Samaritan. The third car went after him. The third car went after him and called it in to the police and gave them his license number and basically followed him long enough to know the vicinity of his where he was at. And I think the police caught up to him that day. So right now, what I'm in the middle of is to get my own police report. And that can be a long endeavor by itself. So if you have a lawyer helping you to do that, good. But I'm a lawyer, so I'm going to be helping myself. But don't get me
That's
wrong, just because I'm a lawyer doesn't mean I haven't called my own attorney as well. I do have attorney
so.
friends who help
So I was
me.
going to call you. I was going to ask you, like, I mean, we're just moving here from Cameroon and different country, and we're not familiar with the law of the land. So, in a situation where you get hit by somebody, right, and maybe the person pull over, what do you do, like, in that circumstances?
Well, the first thing you need to do is you pull over and you call the police. Okay.
Mhm.
Whether it's your fault or not, and honestly, the way these insurance companies work these days, fault or no fault depends on what the police report says, not what you think or what you said, or he cut right in front of me. No, it's what the police, they want objective evidence. And a police report is seen as objective evidence, so you do need to call the police, and you have to ensure that the police get the most accurate information that you can give. Okay, so that will be the
Mhm.
first thing you need to do. Then you also need to get the other person's insurance information. Now, if you happen to be involved in a situation like me, hit and run, and no one knows what the other person's insurance information is, or the person doesn't have insurance information, there are state laws that might still help you get some kind of compensation. So you do need to call your lawyer. One of the biggest pointers I will give is make sure you report the accident to your insurance company that day. Okay, that
Mhm.
very day, make sure you report it to your insurance company. I know some of them that you can just do online claims. Do that, because the longer you wait, the harder it would be for you to be able to actually file your claim successfully. So that's the biggest thing.
Right. You made mention about police report. Can anyone just go to the police office and apply for that, or only an attorney can take care of that?
No, if it's your own police report, you can always request it for yourself, um, or an attorney can request it on your behalf. I will say that laws change all the time. The way police reports are obtained in North Carolina 3 years ago, the way they were done 3 years ago, is not the way they're doing it now. So you have to be able to know exactly how to go ahead with obtaining that police report. It can be time consuming. Now, today makes it a week for me, and
Mhm.
I don't have it yet. But you need to
Wow.
get it as soon as possible. But if it's your own police report, if it's involving your own case,
Mhm.
yes, you can get it yourself, or your attorney can get it for you.
Wow, nice. Thanks for that advice. That's really a good one. A lot of time, we usually don't even know what to do, and it gets us in a really bad situation, and we, end up losing a lot. So, but let's go back to immigration a little bit. Can you
Mhm.
tell us more about, asylum cases?
One thing I don't want to forget to discuss are abuse cases.
Right.
um, VAWA cases, I mean, not just
Mhm.
VAWA, there are different ways to get immigration benefits if you are a victim of abuse.
Right.
If you find yourself in an abusive marriage to a US citizen, contact a lawyer as soon as possible. This is one of the um, cases that are very close to my heart. And a lot of people, when you say that, and in fact, the name VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act, makes it sound like this is just for women, but it's not. I have male clients who have successfully filed VAWA. It is very, very important that you don't just stick with an abusive partner just because you're afraid of in law enforcement, or you're afraid of immigration, you're afraid of deportation. You need to talk to a lawyer so that you can file for a benefit that will get you out of that life and help you get into the US system free of abuse. Okay, so please contact your lawyer to discuss it if you are a victim of abuse. Now let's talk about asylum. Asylum is big now, mainly because we have a lot of people coming through the border. Okay, it's also big because we have wars going on in Ukraine, and other countries. And so it is important, if you believe that your life is in danger in your home country, go ahead and contact an attorney to help you through the process. Honestly, I will tell you this. I do not recommend anybody filing an asylum case on their own. I don't recommend it. I highly recommend you to contact a lawyer to assist you in this journey. Asylum cases, the success rate is in North Carolina is less than 15%. So you need an expert opinion by your side. You need expert advice by your side while you file this. But there's a lot we can talk about. We can talk about people who are not crossing the border, who are here legally. They come in with a visa, but they overstay, and then they file for asylum. You can do that. Circumstances change. If you are fine leaving, but then while you're here, something happened in your home country, you can still file for asylum. Okay, so you just need to discuss your own specific facts and case with your lawyer, and they'll be able to advise you what to do.
Wow, you are like I don't know what to say, but I'm so happy. You're sharing all this information. These are really vital information you're sharing with us, and everyone watching, do contact an attorney. And Omole Law Office is one of those offices that you want to contact, because she knows her thing. I mean, you can clearly get the amount of information she's been sharing with us. Great information, Tina said. So we've talked about a lot about different immigration issue and personal injury. We'd like to get to know more about Morenike. We'd like to hear more about you. So, what drives you? What gives you that impetus to do what you're doing?
I think honestly, what drives me is, again, I have never forgotten what it felt like to be immigrating with my whole family into the United States. I remember, the stress of it on my parents, the sacrifice and the time it takes. It takes patience. We had a lawyer too, and our lawyer is actually still practicing. I found her very recently. It's amazing. I'm a grown woman now, but she helped my family when I was a child. And thank God for her. And I think what just drives me is I can relate with my clients. I know what they're going through. I've been through it, and that drives me and motivates me to help them as much as I can.
Wow. What are some of the most valuable lessons you've learned throughout, being an attorney?
One of the valuable lessons I've learned really is, don't underestimate what a lawyer can do for you. It can make a huge difference. I would say a huge chunk of my cases come from people who did not go for the right help, who did not go to an attorney. And then in the middle of it, they've messed up their case, and it is very, very scary when you're now staring at an immigration judge who could order you to be deported. That, I think, is one of the biggest lessons anyone can learn, is just to start off right. And if you pay a lawyer, in the beginning, trust me, you're saving yourself, because what you're going to end up paying when you're in trouble is going to be 4 or 5 times more. Okay, so if you do want to save money, go and pay a professional to help you right off the bat. I have clients that hired me before any of this started, and now they're citizens. And they just hired me from the very beginning, and we've just been doing it one step at a time. And now they are citizens. That is the biggest joy, when I can just say I've been there throughout their whole journey in the United States before they even got their visa. And now they are American citizens. It is a joy of a lawyer.
Wow, that is so wonderful. And yeah, what are some of the challenges you've gotten? I mean, I know you work with people from all backgrounds, but what are some of the challenges you've gotten working with, you know, our people in particular, Africans?
Oh, with Africans. Well, I won't even sugarcoat this. One of the challenges is Africans don't like to pay you when you're an African American lawyer. When you are, they'll say, "Oh, but you're my sister," and all these things, and I just let them know I'm your lawyer. I'm not, you know.
Yeah.
We're from the same place. We relate and everything, but I do have a business to run, and I'm an attorney. This is what I do professionally. So, being able to respect that. Not all are like that. I'm not, not all of them
Mhm.
are like that, but a good chunk. They are like, they just
Mhm.
don't think, I don't know. There's something about you, you know, requesting for them to make payment and them thinking, no, but impossible. We're both from Africa, you know? So that's a challenge. Another challenge really is that a lot of people are not very patient when it comes to dealing with immigration. Immigration is the federal government. The federal government is very slow. They don't go at our pace. Just go. I mean, even the state government. Think about the DMV. How long it takes for you to just renew your license and all these things, to renew
Right,
your registration. When the government is involved, you have to be patient. So that's
right.
one of the major challenges. A lot of people are calling, but what's going on? It's been 3 months. Trust me, when the government is doing your stuff, they will make sure you wait.
That's a nice one. So what are some of the favorite things that you love to do outside of work?
Outside of what I do for a living, I am actually a filmmaker. I love
Wow.
making films. Yes. My husband has One Way Entertainment, and I produce for him. And I write scripts. In fact, I was just filming last week. We filmed 5 days for a show for coming together of local filmmakers in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hmm.
And we get together and we make films that are excellent in quality and with good storyline, something captivating for people to watch. And we're just local independent filmmakers here. I love doing that. That is my talent. That's my God-given talent and gift.
That is wonderful. Do remember about me when you're shooting one of those big movies. I used to act drama when I was in kindergarten
Oh,
and
wow.
and primary school. But this has been amazing. Before we go, is there something that you like for our audience to know about Omole Law Firm?
Well, I would like you to know that Omole Law Office exists to help. We are compassionate. We are reasonable. Um, we are not. We're not going to treat you like a number. A lot of professionals, in a professional environment, you feel like you're just a number. Like They don't care really about your story. We care about your story at Omole Law Office. And so, if you contact us and you trust us to take on your case, we will walk with you. We will work with you to make sure that you get your desired result.
That is wonderful. And there is this temporal protective status for Cameroonians.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Can you throw more light about that? And, can Cameroonians contact you for that
Absolutely.
service?
Yes, yes. We are getting calls now from Cameroonians asking for assistance with that. You can absolutely file for your own TPS, and TPS will allow you to remain in the country and work in the United States for, without the fear of deportation. So please contact us as soon as possible. This is new. I think it was done. It was enacted maybe in the last 1 month or so. So please feel free to contact us so that we can assist you with that. Last year, around 9 months ago, we were working with a lot of people from Haiti, accomplishing this for them as well. So yes, we are very, very open for business for Cameroonian TPS.
Wow, thanks so much. It's been wonderful, having you here on iWing Marketplace Chit Chat. Thanks for sharing all this wonderful information with us.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
Keep doing this great stuff that you're doing.
Thank you. And you too, Ivan. Continue to do this great stuff. Thank you for letting people see us and hear what we have to offer. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you all for watching. I see so many comments and everything. We do appreciate. And this video is going to be on our YouTube, iWing Marketplace. Please do share to your friends so we can get so many people to benefit from this wonderful information Morenike just shared with us. Thank you so much, and we are out.